everybody, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Today we're going to be looking at the Mattel WWE Elite Target exclusive Woken Matt Hardy. I happened to be at Target checking out general action figures and I stumbled across this guy and I remembered him being a Target exclusive. I remembered he came with some pretty cool accessories. He has a drone called Vanguard 1 and then he has a boat called Skarsgård, or the dilapidated boat. Now that's really the main reason I got this guy. I wanted his drone and his boat, and frankly, if you look at the guy, he's in regular what appears to be black jeans, got a shirt on, kind of like a regular guy. Can find a lot of uses for this guy in my action figure world. So let's go and check out the packaging here. At the top, WWE Elite Collection, ages 8+, Mattel, True FX, meaning they use their facial imprinting technology to make the figures. And here he is. First when I saw him, I didn't even realize there's a boat here. Then I read about it online. I can see the boat in the background, hidden pretty well. Looks like here, I believe this will attach to the boat. Here's his drone. I can definitely find a ton of uses for a drone with a camera in my action figure world. And this guy has 4 more hands, totaling 6 hands. WWE Spotlight Network, Matt Hardy, Woken. One side, here he is, got that sort of blonde piece of his hair. Here he is on the other side. At the bottom, there is a barcode in case anyone needs that or if that helps anybody. And then in the back here, some stats on Matt Hardy and some other figures from the series. So with no further ado, let's crack him open. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all of his accessories laid out. He does come with a whole bunch of pretty cool stuff. He's got his boat, Skarsgård, or the dilapidated boat. He's got his drone called Vanguard 1. Then he's got his hologram of him that can attach to the top of his drone. Then he has 4 additional hands, totaling 6 interchangeable hands. So this guy's loaded to the gill with accessories. This guy was initially supposed to come in a 2-pack with Bray Wyatt, and he was supposed to come with a lawnmower as well, which I was really looking forward to that pack, but they ended up scrapping that pack. I'm assuming the lawnmower was just too big and bulky and not cost effective. I'm glad they were able to get this out. The main reason I got this guy was because the boat. The drone is just an added benefit of getting this guy. There's several different uses I can have for a little boat in my action figure world. I know NECA's making a Jaws in the future. This will be definitely cool to have near that guy. And then the drone, my word. In addition to that, this Matt Hardy looks great. So let's go and check out the figure. First of all, his face looks pretty good. The hair sculpt is nice. He's got that sort of blonde or white streak through the top there. He's got kind of a regular shirt on, muscular, some wrap around the hands. He's got 6 different hands, which is pretty nice, and I think his jeans, black, nice little wash on them, they look great. Double jointed knees, single jointed elbows. Overall, I think this guy is going to be good, and he can have a lot of different uses in my action figure world, as well as his accessories. And then, here's the figure broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now, let's check out all of his accessories, starting off with his hands. Here he is, wearing his first pair of hands. These hands are completely flat and outstretched. I wouldn't exactly call them relaxed. They actually look kind of dumb if you ask me. Could be jazz hands. Can't quite get them close enough to each other for clapping. He can sort of cover his face like he's embarrassed or something, but doesn't quite look right. But they do work great, as if he's relaxing, got his hands behind his head. Pretty sure he's supposed to be displayed with these hands like this in the boat. Here he is with his next pair of hands. These are both hands with an index finger sticking out, so he can be doing the this guy kind of motion, or he can be mean, pointing at another wrestler, talking crap. And here's his third pair of hands. These are his semi-open gripping hands. These are probably the hands I'll keep on him for the most part, because they can A, hold something, and B, double up his fist pretty nicely. Next, let's check out his shirt. This thing made of soft material, very bendable. It's got some little pegs that'll fit into the holes here once you get it on him and sort of secure itself. And so here he is without his shirt on. And here he is with his shirt on. This is a look I definitely prefer for this guy, as he can be doubled up for so many different uses in my action figure world. Now, let's look at his drone. I believe this thing is called the Vanguard 1. Can think of a lot of things I can do with a drone in my action figure world. This has got a camera at the bottom, and it's got propellers at the top. Props to Mattel. They actually made it so they can move. They could have just made them permanently sculpted, and they didn't. In the modern day and age, you can use a drone to spy on somebody. All kind of different things I could do with this. And then here's this hologram thing. This is Matt Hardy as he was greeting Bray Wyatt when he entered his property just before they had their match. This thing will plug into the top of the drone, able to deliver him the message. Here's this drone next to a few different bat drones I have in my Batman armory. And now let's look at his boat. It's called the Skarsgård, or the Dilapidated Boat. This thing here, pretty much a hollow shell, but I do like it a lot. I was definitely curious, will this actually float and function properly? It should, the way it's shaped, but who knows. Here's the boat next to Matt Hardy. You can see it's a little bit bigger than him, so he should fit in there just fine. Pretty decent. I like it. So I went ahead and filled up my kitchen sink. I just wanted to see if this boat would actually float. And here's Matt Hardy relaxing on his boat. And just relaxing away. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, next let's check out the height of this guy. So from bottom to top, going to be sitting at about 6.8 or 6.9 inches, which is going to translate to about 17.5 centimeters. Next, let's check out his articulation. So starting with his head here, can rotate from side to side, can look down about that far, up about that far, kind of tilt a little bit as well. Shoulders on a ball joint, they go out just a little bit more than 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. He's got a bicep cut below that. Single jointed elbows, a little bit more than 90 degrees in there. His wrist can rotate, and it's hinged as well. He does have an ab crunch here, allow him to go forward and back that far. Traditional waist swivel. Legs are on a ball joint and go out about this far, not 90 degrees. Then go forward about that far, back, really not at all. He's got a thigh cut below that. Double jointed knees, they can go all the way back, that's pretty cool. His foot here can rotate around, can go forward and back just a hair, and then it can rock and tilt quite a bit, that is nice. Here are the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff, taking on a couple members of the Wyatt family. Next, let's check them out compared with some of their action figures, starting off with some other wrestling figures. Here he is, next to the only other Matt Hardy figure that I have. Notice they have the exact same shirt on. Here he is, next to a few different Jeff Hardy figures, the Hardy Boys. And here, next to some other wrestling elite figures. And here, next to some basic wrestlers. And here he is, next to some female wrestling figures. A couple basic ones on the left, a couple elite on the right. Next, let's look at him compared with some action figures from different various companies to see how he fits in both scale and style wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. And here he is, next to some McFarlane Toys action figures. And next to some NECA figures. Then with some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here he is, next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. Here he is, next to some more of his Mattel brothers. In front of you are a couple of lines from Mattel, DC Universe Classics, and Multiverse. And here he is, next to some Mafex figures. Now, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. Here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And with some Jazzwares figures. So overall, this is a pretty nice figure, but what really makes this figure is his accessories. They're unique, cool, and frankly, they're pretty useful in a generic action figure collection. I can find a ton of different things to do with that drone, and I can think of a scenario or two where I could use a boat. I must say the holographic image and his extra hands are pretty useless to me. Some things I really like about this figure: his articulation is superb. He can move pretty much every way you'd like except for double jointed elbows. His jeans look excellent. Really like the wash they have on them. They're not one color. They look very nice, black faded jeans. Some things I don't really like: even though it's very accurate to the match, I'm not really feeling his sort of white patch of hair in there. If it really bothered me enough, I could just paint it black, but I want to retain who he is. Another thing I didn't like: the boat is the wrong color. How could they possibly do that? That makes no sense to me. Another thing I don't like, not really any fault of this action figure set, is the fact that they scrapped that amazing 2-pack with lawnmower to make this. I would have loved that 2-pack. Maybe somehow they'll get that in the future, but who knows. So if I were to rate this figure, I'd give him a 7 out of 10. Without the accessories, he would be just one of many generic wrestling action figures, but those accessories really kind of set him aside from some other figures. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.